Welcome back to the Sharing English podcast, where we explore stories from the English-speaking world, spoken slowly and clearly for curious English learners like you. Let's get started. Hey everyone, it's your host Freya. Today's episode is about one of the most popular sports in the world, cricket. And I'll be honest with you from the beginning. Before preparing for this episode, I knew almost nothing about cricket. I'm a huge sports fan, and I've taught myself the rules of a lot of sports just by watching over and over again. But I grew up in the United States, where cricket is not a major played sport at all. But once I started learning more about it, I realized something fascinating. Cricket is not just a sport. It's deeply connected to the history of the English-speaking world itself. It connects countries across several continents. It reflects the history of the British Empire. It shaped national identities. And for billions of people, it is one of the most important cultural traditions in their lives. So today, we are going to explore where cricket came from, how the sport works, as best as I can, why matches can last for days, why countries care about it so passionately, and why the US never fully embraced it the way other English-speaking countries did. Cricket began in England several hundred years ago. Historians believe early forms of the game were played as far back as the 1500s, especially in southern England. Over time, the game became increasingly organized. By the 1700s and 1800s, cricket had become strongly associated with British schools, social clubs, and upper-class culture. As the British Empire expanded around the world, cricket traveled with it. British soldiers, colonists, merchants, and teachers introduced the sport to places including India, Australia, South Africa, Pakistan, and many Caribbean nations. But something interesting happened. People in these countries did not simply copy the sport, they made it their own. And over time, cricket became a source of pride, identity, and national culture far beyond England itself. Now let's answer the question many people, if you're anything like me, are probably asking. What exactly is cricket? At its core, cricket is a bat and ball sport played between two teams. If you know baseball, some parts will feel a little familiar. There's a batter, a ball, runs, innings, and a fielding team. But cricket developed separately and feels very different once you actually watch it. In cricket, one team bats while the other team bowls and fields. The main goal is to score more runs than the opposing team. Teams take turns batting and fielding, and the game ends once both teams have completed their innings, or turns batting, depending on the format of the match. The team with the most runs at the end wins. The bowler in cricket is somewhat similar to a pitcher in baseball, although the throwing motion is completely different. In the center of the field is a rectangular area called the pitch. At each end of the pitch are wooden structures called wickets. A batter scores runs by hitting the ball and successfully running between the wickets before the fielding team can stop them. Meanwhile, the fielding team tries to get batters out in several different ways. Knocking over the wicket, catching the ball, or stopping runners before they safely reach the other side. And unlike baseball, the field itself is usually large and oval-shaped rather than diamond-shaped. One of the most surprising things about cricket is how long matches can last. Some forms of cricket finish in just a few hours, but traditional Test cricket matches can last up to 5 days. 5 days! That sounds unbelievable to many people who are unfamiliar with the sport. But cricket actually exists in several formats. The first is Test cricket. This is the oldest and most traditional version. Teams wear white uniforms, matches can last 5 days, and many fans consider it the purest form of the sport. Test cricket is often described as highly strategic and psychological. Fans appreciate the patience, tactics, and long-term drama. Later, shorter formats were developed. In one-day international matches, often called ODIs, each team has a limited number of overs. An over is a set of 6 balls bowled by one player. These matches are much shorter and usually finish in a single day. And then there's T20 cricket, the modern, fast-paced version. These games are shorter, louder, more aggressive, and designed to appeal to modern audiences and television viewers. T20 has dramatically increased cricket's popularity worldwide, especially among younger fans. If you talk to someone about cricket history, eventually you will hear about the Ashes. This is one of the oldest and most famous rivalries in sports. The Ashes is a long-running cricket competition between England and Australia. The rivalry began in the late 1800s after Australia defeated England in a shocking match played in England itself. A British newspaper jokingly published an obituary. That's what you publish when somebody has died. Saying English cricket had died, and the Ashes would be taken to Australia. The joke became legendary. Today, the Ashes remains one of cricket's most prestigious competitions, and it represents more than sports. It reflects history, national identity, and the complicated relationship between Britain and one of its former colonies. In many countries, cricket is connected deeply to national identity. In India, cricket is enormously popular and followed by hundreds of millions of fans. Matches involving India can feel less like ordinary sporting events and more like national moments. Cricket also became especially meaningful in countries that were once part of the British Empire, like Australia and India. In some places, defeating England in cricket carried symbolic importance. It represented independence, pride, and equality. In the Caribbean, cricket became a powerful cultural force connecting different islands and communities. So while cricket began in England, it eventually became something much larger and more global. Now, let's talk about the United States. Interestingly, cricket was actually played in early American history. But during the 1800s, another bat and ball sport became more popular: baseball. Over time, baseball became strongly connected to American identity and culture. Meanwhile, cricket remained associated more closely with Britain and other parts of the English-speaking world. Baseball was also generally shorter, faster-moving, and easier to organize casually. And as American sports culture developed separately, sports like baseball, American football, basketball, and later hockey became dominant instead. Today, cricket is still growing slowly in the United States because of immigration and international communities, but it still remains much less popular there than in other countries like India, Australia, or England. One thing I found fascinating while learning about cricket is that the culture around the sport can feel very different from many American sports. Some cricket matches become all-day social events instead of a few hours in the evening. Fans may spend hours together eating, talking, and watching gradually unfolding games. Traditional test matches even include tea breaks. And many cricket traditions emphasize patience, strategy, and endurance rather than non-stop action. That slower rhythm is actually part of what many fans love. Modern cricket is also big business. Professional leagues attract massive audiences and huge television contracts. One of the biggest examples is the Indian Premier League, often called the IPL. The IPL combines cricket with entertainment, celebrity culture, and fast-paced competition. Some of the world's biggest cricket stars become internationally famous through these tournaments. And thanks to shorter formats like T20, cricket continues expanding into new audiences around the world. Let's go over a few of those useful words you heard earlier in the episode. Wicket is the wooden target behind the batter. Bowler, the player who throws the ball. Innings, a team's turn batting. Pitch, the central playing area. Over, a set of 6 balls bowled by one player. Now, even if you never become a cricket fan, understanding cricket helps explain something much bigger: the shared history and cultural connections of the English-speaking world. It's a sport connected to empire, migration, identity, rivalry, and community. And honestly, after researching this episode, I finally understand why so many people around the world care about it so passionately. And I'm definitely interested in checking out a match or two in the future. Now I'm curious, is cricket a big part of life in your culture? If so, what's your favorite memory or moment from the sport? Let me know. Thanks for listening to the Sharing English podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, leave a rating or review, and share the podcast with a friend who's also learning English. You can find out more about me and the podcast at our website, www.sharing-english.com. New episodes of the Sharing English podcast are available weekly wherever you listen to podcasts. As always, let me know, what topics are you interested in hearing more about? Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep sharing English.